PSG seemed to be the name on everybody's lips this summer. Linked with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at the start of the summer, they've moved their attention onto the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Neymar, prepared to blow a nation's budget on 2 attackers when they still have Kevin Trapp in goal. Let's take a look at 8 players you might have forgotten that PSG tried to sign. Cristiano Ronaldo. Alright, so this one might not be that surprising. One of the richest clubs on the planet tried to attract one of the most successful athletes. According to former Sporting Director Leonardo, the club moved heaven and earth during the 12-13 season to lure the Portuguese superstar from Real Madrid. Ronaldo was going through a similar situation to the stressful one he's at now. In September 2012, he alerted half of Europe by declaring his unhappiness with the club, stemming from being booed by an ungrateful home support. The home-wrecking PSG stuck their beaks in, and according to Leonardo, did everything within the written laws to get him to Paris. It never happened though. Ronaldo went on to win 3 Champions Leagues, while the French side are still working out how to get past the quarterfinals. Dimitri Payet. When Dimitri Payet threw his toys out of his pram and sent his cult hero status up in flames at West Ham last season, it might have come as a shock to some. It really shouldn't. The Frenchman had pulled the same tactics 5 years earlier while at Saint Etienne. PSG had come calling during the summer of 2011, leading to a breakdown in Payet's relationship with his club as he tried to force through a move. Sound familiar? The move never materialised, so he ended up at Lille instead. Adel Taarabt. Yeah, it wasn't always Alexis Sanchez and Neymar that the club were linked with. When Man City underwent their financial makeover in 2008, they had to go through the ritual of paying over the odds for Wayne Bridge, Colo Torre and Rocky Santa Cruz. For PSG, they had to do the same as they slowly planned their ascent to greatness, but plucking a man straight out of QPR seemed a bit much. The Moroccan had shone the previous season, scoring 19 goals as the club won promotion to the top flight. He subsequently became locked in talks with the French side, but would go on to hit out at his club for refusing to let him leave. He stayed in London, piled on the pounds and scored 7 goals in 58 games for the Ars. Anderson. PSG probably won't like people scrolling through their unfashionable history immediately prior to the takeover, when their hopes rested on the likes of Pegai Lendula and Guillaume Moreau. In February 2010, when they were trapped in the bottom half of League One and without a penny to their name, they attempted to sign Anderson on loan from Manchester United. Desperate times. The same Anderson who had spent the previous 3 years hibernating on the Old Trafford bench. The move never materialised due to the French club being unable to meet the Brazilian's wage demands. 7 years later and they'd be willing to pay another Brazilian $500,000 a week. How times change. Mario Balotelli. So Mario Balotelli has found his way to the French league at long last at the rehabilitation centre for wasted careers at his Nice football club. After successfully recuperating Hatem Ben Arfa before chucking him out to the PSG bench, Balotelli underwent the same process last season, scoring 17 goals in 28 games. I'm just waiting for them to be linked with Jack Wilshere next. However, during Euro 2012, when Balotelli was at the peak of his powers, downing Germany and launching 1,000 memes, he was made an offer by PSG as the French giants tried to entice him from Man City. The Premier League champions held on to their man, Balotelli scored 1 more league goal for the club, and PSG went and signed Balotelli's former teammate instead. Mesut Ozil. Arsene Wenger shocked the world in 2013 when he pulled off a coup in signing Mesut Ozil from Real Madrid for £42 million, shattering the myth that the Frenchman does not spend money. Of course, the German superstar was always going to have other options that summer, and PSG were just one of them. The Gunners had made him a £140,000 a week offer, but according to Wenger, PSG had made him an even more lucrative one. However, the Frenchman claimed it was Arsenal's ambition to win silverware that swayed the German. 3 FA Cups later, you can't say he's wrong, but I bet the Europa League wasn't written into the contract. Seamus Coleman. About 10 to 15 years ago, you might have found 4 or 5 Republic of Ireland internationals playing in the highest level in the Champions League. As a result, the squad could actually approach a tournament with something resembling a semblance of confidence. As it stands in 2017, there is not a single one. The captain Seamus Coleman could be playing in Europe by now, had Everton accepted the £20 million bid from PSG 2 years ago. Considering he'd signed from Sligo Rovers in 2008 for £60,000, it would have been an excellent profit for his services. However, the Irishman would go on to sign a long-term contract to keep him at Goodison Park, before breaking his leg last season while on international duty. Alexander Mitrovic. Yeah, I'm as confused as you. When PSG are blessed with the bags of cash they have, why do they need to go slumming around the English Championship for players? You'd have thought those days were long behind them. According to reports, Newcastle were forced to fend off an approach from the French giants for the services of not Dwight Gale, which would already have been ludicrous enough, but Alexander Mitrovic, a man who was being outshone in the Championship by Daryl Murphy. Let's be honest, the Serbian has not settled in England since the £13 million move from Anderlecht 2 years ago. He couldn't even score against Oxford, but is said to still be highly thought of on the continent. Apparently, Newcastle rejected an offer of £50 million from PSG for the man who warms their bench. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also check out HITC 7s.